Hey, and welcome to Open for Views. Disclosure. Today I have a game that I backed on Kickstarter. I've been waiting for it for a bit, but let's get to it. We have Empire of the Stars. Oh, that's a nice... Look at that. Reminds me of Captain Harlock. Let's read the back of the box first. Empire of the Stars is a game of galactic conflict between opposing forces stretched across the galaxy. Your empire begins from a single homeworld. During the game, you'll become explorer, steward, merchant, regent, warlord, scientist, and engineer. Each bestows a bonus privilege, but also determines what happens next in the game for all players. Using these roles, you will explore the galaxy and find planets to colonize, gather and exchange resources, research and discover unique technologies, build fleets of spaceships, engage in epic wars, and use your influence to overthrow opponents and become emperor. The player who scores the most colony and galaxy tokens will rule the galaxy for millennia to come. That sounds awesome. Check out the back. No pictures of the game or anything, but has the what's in the box. That was another thing. The tokens, the metal tokens, I did the Emperor Pledge. And that had metal tokens. But apparently they're coming later this week. So, well, when I get them, I'll get them. So, Pinky is here, as always. Let's get inside. Let's see what's going on. You been alright? Everything been cool? I certainly hope so. Things have been cool over here. Well, hot, but cool. Ooh, that smells nice. It smells like paint. It's new. Let's get this open. Uh-oh. Got a tight one. It's pretty heavy. Here we go. Oh, the box again. Alright. We have our manual. Solo rules, which is exciting. Alright, what do we have here? We'll learn about everything in a minute. Ooh, cubes! Everybody knows I like cubes. Awesome. There are the ships. We have some more cubes. We have a marker. The metal scepter. Right? Is this? I guess it's metal. Sounds like it. Cool. Story cards. Oh, there I am. Twice. Story cards. Military, I guess these are the different. Let's see here. Yes, these nice. They're like double bordered or whatever it's called. They have depth. I can't think of what it's called right now. They look nice. They look very nice. Here's our ships. All in here. World cards. And then our... Don't worry, we'll go through all of these, as we always do. Then our... What makes the bag, or the box weigh so much, are all of the tiles in the game board. This is... some dials here. These are for like your space battles, for another player, color-coded players. Oh boy, they're popping out. Another. Alright. Here are the planets. They're different. Plutocracy. All players score 1 colony token. The player with the most credit scores 1 galaxy token. I'm excited about this. I like those 4X strategy games on PC. And I heard that this is that, but a board game. It's pretty exciting. exciting. It's good. That smells nice. It smells like paint. And here's the board. So let's go ahead and open it up. It looks pretty big. Yeah, it is. Nice. Ah, that's right. It's dual-sided. I forgot about that. So here is side 1. And here's side 2. Awesome. Alright. What do we open first? Alright. Get pinky. Well, here, let's open this metal scepter. I declare, right? I am Emperor of the universe. Let's see. What cards do we check out first? Store, I think this is the single player thing. Let's check out some of these. Easy. Not so easy. There we go. All right. Okay. They're double-sided. I don't know what they do. The cardstock's very nice. They feel very good. Let's see. World. Drop it. World. Your world ship will be the new capital city of the galaxy when you ascend the throne. Immediately add 1 colony token to your home planet from your player board. Flip it to the starbase side. Each token adds 2 to your world ship combat strength during Warlord. These tokens may not be assigned hits and may not be influenced by Regent. They score normally at the end of the game. Your home planet is a world ship. Before Explorer, move your home planet and any units on it up to 3 regions. Do not stop on the region with a tile or ships. You may move through a wormhole as if your world ship was a regular ship. Interesting. There's some stuff at the bottom. When like this first was on, I didn't do it on Kickstarter. I did it on, it was one of the other ones, you know, like where they have the slacker back thing, or late backing, whatever it's called these days. And so he had the Adam West, I believe is the fellow at Crosscut who devised this game. He had the rule book, and I remember clicking through it. It's a PDF file, you know, and checking out some of the basic rules and stuff. But I didn't want to read it too terribly much, because, you know, you kind of want to be surprised. You know, you see something, it catches your eye, it looks like something interesting that you would have fun with, and so you kind of want to be surprised when it comes out. At least that's the way I am. Vengeful, Thief, Time Lord. Let's read Time Lord. Time is a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. You may immediately add 1 colony token to all wormholes. For the rest of the game, the following applies to you. During Warlord, each colony on wormholes adds to your combat strength, may receive hits, and be scored by opponents. During Regent, you may influence colonies on wormholes to make them starbases. No other player may influence them. On the other side of it, during Warlord, after battle plans are revealed, you may reverse time. Both you and your opponent must secretly reallocate combat strength, and it must be different than before. You may do this only once per battle. You may not do this as an ally. All right. This is going to be fun. Let's check these out. Not just military, I think it's different. You choose military or science. Choosing how your civilization grows. Let's see here. I'm very impressed with this cardstock. It's very nice. Pillowed. Let's see. Military. Phase shields. During Warlord, gain +1 shield for each colony and +2 shields for each starbase you have in the sector. As an ally, you may add phase shields to your side of the battle. Okay, there's a military. Let's see what else is here. I know there's different types. There have to be, right? Yes, there we go. Industrial. It's really weird, a type of music would become a way to rule the galaxy. Right? Space warp. Industrial. After Steward, move one explorer tile to any unoccupied region. The destination region may not have an explorer tile or ships. All tokens and ships on the tile are also moved. Then score one colony token and one galaxy token and remove space warp from the game. Neat. Let's see, industrial and science. So military, industrial, and science. Science plus culture. Scout ship. So I'll show you the card first. Before I, After explore, move one of your ships to any region. If you move to an empty planet, immediately colonize it. You cannot move to a home planet. You cannot exceed 3 ships per region. Cool. Yeah, so each one has their little... Military is like a lightning bolt. Industrial is a bolt. Or a nut. Yeah, it's a nut. Right? And science and culture, I guess, are chemical bonds. Let's check out these story ones. Story. It's like a rainbow. A rainbow across the universe. How sweet. All right. Oh, okay. There's not just... Okay, here's story ones. Okay, I won't read the story ones because, maybe I'll read one. Story. Sensor array. The Galactic Sentry has discovered an abandoned sensor array, solemnly standing, watch over 7 sectors in the galaxy. Those sectors were unaware of the observer, and the outpost now appears to be abandoned. It was built recently, but it is not functioning. None of the current empires claim its construction. Researchers are hurrying to understand its origin and purpose. All right, that sounds cool. Okay, we have Warlord cards, little square cards. Oh, okay, Warlord, Regent, Engineer. Does this sound annoying? Scientist. Trying to be more gentle. Merchant. Steward. Patrick Steward. Oof, that was bad. And Explorer. Warlord. Let's check Warlord first. Supernova. Your prime star has gone supernova. Even your hypershields cannot withstand the blast. All ships in a region adjacent to the edge of the board are immediately destroyed. Return them to your supply. Awesome. Here's the card. And there's a, that's 7. Yeah, 7 of them. So, I imagine, what is it, 7 for all? Yeah, 7 for all type. And then Merchant. Wealthy Merchant. The merchant bloc, led by the Right Honorable Quan Ying, has offered a portion of his vast wealth to your cause against the ancients. All gain from the supply the credits currently on the market table. Explorer. Oh, Explorer. That was the thing I'm supposed to read. Ancient civilization. A city on a distant planet has been discovered. It might lead to a better understanding of the ancients. You place a colony of an unoccupied planet on an unoccupied planet. If there are none, nothing else happens. Regent. The princess. How delightful. A small child known as Debris the Fair has gathered a large group of followers. They have overthrown one of your star bases and demand it be turned into a garden planet. All must convert a starbase to a colony or score one of their colonies. If they cannot, nothing happens. Scientist. And major breakthrough, what we're going to read. Fortunately, your scientific efforts have been rewarded with the discovery of many new artifacts thought to be part of the ancients' millennia-old civilization. All may buy one technology from their hand for free as it immediately available for use. Engineer. Engineers always causing problems. Oh, fallen empire. See? The rise of the ancients has doubled the number of volunteers in your galactic fleet. All gain one fighter into their staging area. If you have no fighters in your supply, nothing happens. And then steward. Zealots. Due to the rise of the ancients, a quasi-religious group is now feverishly working to support your efforts as emperor. All may immediately produce all resources from one non-homeworld planet. Yeah. Zealots! Okay. Look through that stuff. I want to look at the cubes again. Look at them. They're cubey. Let's see. Let's look at the ships. Actually, before we look at the ships, let's check out the player tableau. Tableau. Pinky. There we go. Pinky. I was going to have to recommend Pinky. My only friend is a pink box cutter. How close we are. Let's see. Cool. Sets Edict. Explore, choose tile. Colonize, place tile. Look at this. This is nice. And see, it's like, it's layered. You can move your little cubes through these, I believe. This is where you put your little ships right here. Like when they're built. You go here and then they go put out into the field. I believe that's what happened. Cool. Alright. Now. Ships. Green, yellow, red, purple, or white. Which ones to check out? I could be that guy. Let's see. You saw them. Let's take a peek. Look at them all. You know, they're all different. Okay. Let's see here. What do we have? What do we have? I mean, of course, you know, they don't fly around like this. I mean, that'd be a weird, it's like a coffin ship. How am I supposed to, you know, pew, pew, pew? Am I supposed to show it like that? Maybe I should put together one of the stands and every time pop it in. I mean, couldn't hurt. Hopefully I don't break anything. Let's see. There we go. Ha-ha! It's a ship. I believe these are the dreadnoughts, the big ones. Yeah, and the other ones do not have stands, unfortunately. So this will just have to do. Okay, yellow. Let's get that in focus there. So the undersides. Side view of the ship. Little fighters, I guess. Oh, these are nice. And this is, it's going to be hard to see. I mean, I've got my iPad potato camera here, so apologies. Side view. I believe, yes, there are 3 types of ships. There's the dreadnoughts, the biggins, red, and each one is different. Awesome. Each has a different style, different culture. Here's the other one. Very cool, man. These are sweet. As I say in my other videos, I wish I, knew how to paint. Like, actually. Paint a wall. Paint the side of a house. Paint a bathroom, But painting something like this, I feel like I need a little magnifying glass, like the magnifying monocle. Tweezers, but, I'm like this all the time. All that caffeine. Let's see, and then this, the little tiny one. Ooh, this is a little ship. Purple. Story cards I'll put over here. There's that sound again. Dunk. Where's our dreadnought? Oh, very Star Wars right here. This one. Or, wasn't that all that stuff lifted from, like, Lady Matsumoto, apparently, anyway? Ah, yeah, this guy's cool. I like this guy. This little exploration ship, or little fighter, or whatever he is. We'll find out in a minute. And then, these guys. I think I figured out how to show them off. More than halfway through. I figured it out. Green, or that's cool. It's a big one. Great view. You like that ship? There we go. These. There's, I believe, 2 dreadnoughts per civilization. Jet engines and stuff. Pretty sweet. And then the little fighters. These are so awesome, but man, they are tiny. Knew it was going to be pretty tough for them to show up, but I think you get the idea. They're much more detailed than my than my camera is letting on. I usually don't do this, like immediately dump stuff in the storage container stuff, but I really want to play this. I've been waiting for a while. Interested in that solo mode. Hopefully my chick digs it. I think I was talking earlier about like 4X games, expand, explore, exterminate, whatever. Those are always fun, and that's what immediately got me interested in this. Always like those games on PC. Civilization in space. There we go. This guy. Let's see. These would be sweet painted. Definitely. Not by me. And then the stands. You put them together. They're just little 2 pieces for the dreadnoughts, I believe. Alright. And it is time, everyone, for the manual. see here. I have an idea. Let's make this official. Let's stay. Does that look good? It's pretty sharp. I mean, it's lost in my fuzz. I guess it won't work. I was going to try to be, you know, Emperor cigarette holder. Empire of the Stars. Variants. Right out of the box. Variants. That's nice. Game components. 36 exploration tiles, 40 galaxy tokens, 64 credit tokens, 75 technology cards, and then the metal ones, you know, that aren't here, but they're supposed to be here later this week. Maybe I'll make another video showing that, you know, addendum. 30 player power cards, 7 edict tiles, 4 market tiles, 1 monolith, 1 game board, and 1 scepter. I was calling it a mace or something. A mace to smash your opponents with. Player board, homeworlds, combat dial. That's what that's called. The thing where the had the numbers. Let's learn. 16 colony tokens, 3 resource markers, 2 dreadnoughts, 4 cruisers, and 8 fighters. Yeah, so there were 3. I was right. Thank God I didn't skip anything. All right. Setup. 1. Game board. Place the board on the table. The board is made up of 10 sectors, each with 4 regions. Each region is a circle where an exploration tile can be placed. 2. Technology display. Separate the technologies by cost, 1, 2, and 3. Shuffle them by this cost and deal 3 cost 1 cards to each player as their starting hand. Then create 3 face-down drawing decks, 1 for each cost, and then flip over the top card of each deck to create 3 face-up discard piles. 3. Far space locations. Place a galaxy token on each of the 8 far-side space locations on the board. Place the remaining galaxy tokens in a supply next to the board. 4. Market tiles. Place the 4 market tiles resource side up. Push to the right edge of the market table. The order of the tiles does not matter. Place the credit tokens in a supply next to the board. 5. Exploration tiles. Set aside 3 wormhole tiles and 1 2-polymer tile per player. Shuffle the remaining tiles into 3 roughly equal stacks. Place 1 wormhole tile in the middle of each stack and combine all 3 stacks together into a single face-down stack. Flip over a number of tiles equal to the number of players plus 1 to form a face-up display. If there are no planets in the display, remove an empty space tile and place it on the bottom of the stack and flip over a replacement tile. Repeat as necessary until at least 1 planet is in the display. Each player gets 1 2-polymer tile and 3 wormhole tiles are placed in the starting stack tiles. 6. Player components. Each player chooses a color, takes the corresponding player board, 3 resource markers, homeworld tile, 2 polymer tile, ship models, colony tokens, combat dial, and a slotted throne. Oh, that's right, the little throne that you put together, I believe. You put like little, I think you put your money in there. Make 8 stacks of 2 colony tokens on your player board. Yeah, see, it's right there. Constructing your throne. See? You make your little throne. And there's a slot in the back of it. I can't remember what you put in it. It's been a while. 7. Player powers. Shuffle the player powers and deal 3 out to each player. Players secretly choose 1 and put the others back in the deck. After selecting, all players must reveal their player power simultaneously and take turns reading both sides out loud. 8. Place homeworlds. Starting with the player with the lowest numbered power and continuing to the highest, each takes a turn placing their homeworld tile in any region and 1 fighter on this homeworld, unless otherwise indicated by your power. Then place your 2 polymer tile adjacent to your homeworld tile. It does not have to be in the same sector. 9. Gathering starting resources. Your player power indicates your starting resources and credits. Each player marks up their resources, polymers, metals, and energy on their resource track and collects their starting credits from the supply. If you have a power player that depends on opponents, wait until everyone else has collected their resources. Then, starting with the lowest number player power and continuing to the highest, collect your resources. Polymer, metal, energy, credit. 10. Starting player. Give the Chaos Edict scepter and the monolith to the player with the highest numbered player power. Set the other six edict tiles off to the side. The starting player is the Emperor. Gameplay. Let me see here. And then it has the rules for each. Okay. Here we go. In the center of the game board are 7 roles: Explorer, Steward, Merchant, Engineer, Scientist, Warlord, and Regent. When chosen, a role grants you a special privilege, and everyone takes a turn with the role. Explorer. Add planets, asteroid fields, and wormholes to region in the galaxy. Steward. Produce resources from colonized planets. Merchant. Trade resources for credits and invest in far space. Engineer. Build ships and deploy them to a starbase. Scientist. Gain technologies that give a unique ability. Warlord. Move ships and engage in battle. Regent. Influence planets, create starbases, and become Emperor. To begin the first round, the starting player places the monolith on any roll to select it. Each round after, the player with the scepter must move the monolith to select a roll. You can move it in any number of spaces, but must drop 1 credit on each roll passed over. If you have no credits, you can only move to a roll adjacent to the monolith. After moving the monolith, if your chosen roll has 1 or more credits on it, take all the credits. In a round, each player takes a turn going clockwise around the table. When all players have taken a turn with the roll, the scepter is given to the next player on the left, and a new round begins with that player choosing a new roll. Bob chooses Merchant, and as a privilege collects credits. Merchant collecting credits. Surprise. Then Bob, Pat, Zhang, and Eleanor all take turns buying and selling resources. Bob says, I'll sell 2 energy for 3 credits each. Pat says, I'll sell all of my polymers for 1 credit each, so that's 5 credits. Zhang says, I'm not buying or selling. Eleanor says, I'll buy 1 energy for 3 credits, and I'll sell 1 metal for 2. Scoring tokens. Your player board begins the game with stacks of your colony tokens. When placed on a planet or far space location, a colony token represents your expanding empire. However, you may also score tokens with technologies, player powers, or by destroying opponents' colonies. If ever a rule, technology, or player power says score a token, the token goes into the slot of your throne, hidden from all players. That's what that is. If you ever run out of colony tokens on your player board, you may score a galaxy token instead. Your total at the end of the game is the total of all tokens on the game board and in your throne. No one may examine tokens in a throne during play. You lose track of it. I'm winning. I'm losing. Player powers. Each player has a unique power. There are 2 sides to this power, core and surge. All players begin the game with their power on the core side. This side can be used each time anyone selects the role as specified on the card. However, you are never compelled to use your power. It is always optional. Whenever a power says before a roll, it may be used before anyone takes a turn with that roll. Whenever it says after a roll, it may be used after everyone has taken a turn with that roll. And when it says during a roll, it can be used anytime during the roll. If powers ever conflict, the power with the lower number is resolved first. If a power seems to contradict the rules, follow what the card says. Much of the fun and strategy of the game is using your power to your best advantage. The surge side is much more powerful than the core side. All players flip their power to the surge side after Explorer when a new wormhole is placed in a region. When you use your surge power, you must then flip the power back to the core side. Usually this happens at the end of the roll in which the power is used. If you cannot or do not want to use the surge side, you may instead at any time flip it back to the core side. Since there are only 3 wormholes in the game, you can use your surge power at most 3 times, so be sure to use it wisely. The Emperor in ending the game. During the game, one player will be the Emperor and bring order to the galaxy represented by an edict placed in front of them to remind them how the game is scored each round of the game. When the Emperor receives the scepter, they must do the following before choosing a role. 1. Score the edict. The Emperor calls all players, including the Emperor, to score a colony token from their board. The token must be scored if possible. Then the player who meets the condition on the edict also scores one galaxy token. If 2 or more players tie in this condition, no one scores the token. The game begins with the Chaos Edict, which does not score any galaxy tokens. Also, do not score the Chaos Edict before the first turn of the game. 2. Check for game end. The Emperor asks if any player, including the Emperor, has no colony tokens left on their player board if there are no galaxy tokens left in the supply. If so, the game immediately ends. If the game ends, all players reveal and count their tokens in their throne. Each colony and galaxy token scores 1 point. Then each adds their tokens on planets and far space locations to this total. Each colony token scores 1 point and each starbase scores 2. Tokens left on your player board are not counted towards the final score. The player with the highest total wins. If there is a tie, the tied player with the most planets wins. If there is still a tie, the Emperor determines the winner among the tied players. How nice. He's off buddies with him. What if it's an enemy? Explorer. Cool. This is the manual is nice. Everything here. Let me go back here. Very, very colorful, very well done. I'm a little biased. Steward, merchant, engineer, scientist, warlord. Yeah, let's see how combat works. See how combat works, and then let's read a couple of these real quick. The merchant. Collect credits. As a privilege, the player who chose merchant gains credits from the supply equal to those shown on all tiles on the credit market tiles. Buy and sell resources. Players may buy and sell simultaneously. The value of resources is indicated by the column not covered by the market tile. Sold resources are deducted from your track, and credits are taken from the supply. Credits spent to buy are returned to the supply, and bought resources are added to your track. Invest in far space. Far space represents distant galaxies that can further expand your empire. The player who chose merchant invests first. Then others may invest in turn order. Resetting the market tiles. This is going to be awesome. All right, warlord. All right, let's learn a little bit about combat. Move ships. Move any or all of your ships in any order, but each ship may only move once. Ships move from one region to an adjacent region. Each counts as one movement. Fighters may move up to 4 regions, cruisers 3, dreadnoughts 2. Colonies and starbases cannot move. You do not have to move the full distance. Ships can move into regions with no exploration tiles. The maximum number of ships in a region is 3. You can never stop on a region with 3 ships, but you may move through it. Opponent ships do not block movement. You can never stop on an opponent's home world. If your ship moves into an asteroid field, it is too dangerous to move further. You must stop moving the ship. However, you may continue movement when Warlord is chosen again. You may move from a wormhole to any other region in the galaxy as if it were adjacent to the wormhole. Resolving battles. After you move your ships, you may optionally start a battle in any sectors with your ships, colonies, or starbases. These are your units, and an opponent's units. On your turn, you may declare battles in any order, but only once per sector. The battle includes all 4 regions. You are the attacker, and the battle is resolved as follows. A. Declare opponent and call for allies. You must declare one opponent in the sector as the defender. You may then call for allies. 1. Announce which players you wish to have as allies. Then the defender announces which players they wish to have as allies. No one. I wish allies. You're on your own. 2. Starting with the player to the left of you and continuing around the table, each accepts or declines the invitation of either attacker or defender. If they accept, they may move 1 or more ships into the sector following normal movement rules. Before the battle begins, an ally must have at least 1 unit in the sector, ship, colony, or starbase. An ally's technologies apply only to their units unless otherwise stated on the technology. B. Determine combat strength. Both attacker and defender add up the strength of their units and their allied units in the sector. Your home planet always has 1 starbase. Fighters 1, colony 1, starbase 2, cruiser 3, dreadnought 6. C. Set battle plan. Use your combat dial. The attacker and defender secretly distribute their respective total combat points among tactics, weapons, and shields. Players reveal battle plans simultaneously. D. Tactics winner moves ships. The player with the higher tactics may move ships equal to the difference in tactics values. Any ship in the battle from either side can be moved according to normal movement rules. The tactics winner and their allies score 1 galaxy token each. It can be advantageous to move ships from either side. If you move your own ships out of the sector, they cannot be hit in this battle. See determine hits below. And might be used in the next battle. If you move enemy ships out of a region, it may be easier to destroy a colony because there is less protection. E. Determining hits. Both players compare their weapons against their opponent's shields. For each weapon not deflected by a shield, the player of the firing ship makes a hit and decides which opposing unit in the sector is destroyed. You may only hit units in the sector. A fighter or colony is destroyed by 1 hit, cruisers by 2, dreadnoughts by 3. A starbase is flipped to a colony by 1 hit or destroyed by 2. Homeworld starbases can never be destroyed, and you cannot destroy an enemy colony if there are any enemy ships in its region. Variants. Let's see here. Playing with 2 players. That's gonna be my wife and I, or solo. Playing with 2 players. There are a few changes for 2 players. Roles are selected differently. Also, substitute the following setup steps. Exploration tile. Set aside 3 wormhole tiles and 1 2-polymer tile per player. Shuffle the remaining tiles and remove 16 tiles. Choose 4 sectors adjacent to each other and fill all the regions with the 16 face-down tiles. These sectors are now blocked from play. Divide the remaining tiles into 3 roughly equal stacks. Place the 1 wormhole tile in the middle of each stack and combine all 3 together into a single face-down stack. Flip over 3 tiles to form a face-up display. Replace a tile if all tiles have no planets. Playing the game. When the game begins, the starting player may place the monolith on any roll. Each player takes a turn as indicated by the roll. The scepter is then handed to the other player. However, from this point forward, each player chooses 2 rolls, one after the other, resolving and moving the monolith between each section before handing the scepter to their opponent. Setup for first-time players. You can play Empire of the Stars without player powers. This will make the game easier for first-time players. For starting resources, each player begins with 3 polymers, 2 metal, 1 energy, and 5 credits. Do not deal powers out and ignore the rule for flipping powers to surge after a wormhole appears. Playtesters. Credits. Game design, Adam West. There he is. Batman. Graphic design, Peter Gifford. UniversalHead.com. Illustration, Jeff Brown. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to start playing this. This is going to be super cool. Oh, solo rules. We can't skip solo rules. Or maybe we can. Let's see. Events in the Empire. That's a little story mode. Awesome. It's literally just a real, it's almost like a quick start. In general, you will set up the game as normal with a few exceptions. Edicts and player powers are not used in solo play. Put them back in the box. Use the game board side matching the back of the solo decks. Collect your playing pieces as normal and choose a starting region for your home planet. Place your 2 polymer tile adjacent to your home planet. Set your polymers to 3, metal to 2, energy to 1. Take 5 credits. Place 1 fighter on your home planet. Your solo opponent is called the Ancients. Choose a color for the Ancients and give them 15 credits, 4 cruisers, 16 colony tokens, and 1 throne. The Ancients do not have resources. They begin the game with 1 cruiser. They may gain additional cruisers when Engineer is chosen. However, to increase the difficulty, you may start the Ancients with additional cruisers. Each one will intensify their ability to destroy the galaxy. Prepare the deck of Explorer tiles by removing all of the empty space tiles from the game, shuffling the remaining tiles and creating a face-down draw pile. Set out 3 tiles face-up. Since there are no player powers in the solo game, ignore the rules of flipping powers when a wormhole appears. Set the 7 story cards aside. Separate the other cards by the 7 rolls and shuffle each deck to form a 7 face-down draw pile. 7 draw piles. Then shuffle the story cards and draw 3, placing 2 face down and 1 face up, left to right, creating a queue of cards. Read the text on the face-up card. Awesome, man. It's going to be awesome! I can't wait. Spaceships. A thing of spaceships. These are all going to fall everywhere. The inside of the box with the game board, and it says scientist right here. Scientist! Little thing from Quartermaster Logistics, the people who shipped this out, did an excellent job. See something wrong or missing? Coins! But they already contacted everybody about that, so I mean, what am I to do? But yeah, it's going to be a good one. Hopefully my wife can get into it. She may. We'll see. I might just be playing this solo. Be a solo game for Papa. But yeah, looks good, looks good. Everything's super high quality. I really like the look of everything. The cards are nice, super nice. The manual is nice. I really like the ships. I wish the little ones had little stands. That's like my only real, like, true beef with the ships. But other than that, they look awesome. I mean, probably stands would clutter the board like crazy. It'd be crazy. All these little stands. We got to give you 800 stands. Got to ship those too. Yeah, it'd be a mess. But yeah, looks good. I'm excited to put the little war tablets together, you know, with your different scores for your shields and your power and stuff. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, looks good. Can't wait to play it. But as always, we were open before, but now we're closed. Beat it!